So I have been watching what is happening down in the Middle East on TikTok. I don't get any information from anywhere else right now, and I'm not seeking for information either. I just watch what is coming up on that platform. And now I just feel that when I did a few readings on Putin and the situation overall, he feels like this is his chance to get back in the game, to be seen as a great leader that calms emotions that is kind of overwhelming. That the Middle East or the countries down there are just very emotional. And the US are not logical. They react with the emotions yet again. And he is the logic thinker that would not necessarily save the situation, but he wants to be seen as someone reliable that you can count on. And he feels like in the past he had a shot in doing so and he kind of missed it. And now he feels like it's coming back around. So he takes it and he runs with it, and he hopefully, or he sees that he hopefully gain a few more like a few allies on the way that is going to be loyal and thankful and grateful for what he is doing. I obviously think that that is kind of dangerous, but at the same time, if Iran lets, I don't know. I would just say that I'm not so sure that like going to bed with Putin would solve Iran's problem. I'm just saying it like that. I noticed, I googled yesterday, and he actually has blocked YouTube. I never thought he would dare to, because there were 50 million Russians on YouTube, and the old information were that he didn't dare to mess with YouTube because of how big it actually was for the Russians. They use VPN now to get access to YouTube, and I googled that too because I don't know what it is. And you just download an app, and then you choose which country you want to watch from. You can use Sweden to see what we can access. It was like a no-brainer. So I don't know what he thought would happen when he banned YouTube, because my reading kind of pointed out that after he banned YouTube, the Russians see YouTube as the only form of information that is truthful and honest, and they want to see the world, they want to see what's out there, and YouTube kind of makes it possible for them. And when you take something away from someone, they value it more. And that is what he managed to actually do with blocking YouTube. And I also asked, okay, if he has blocked YouTube, how easy is it to kind of reach the Russians? And according to my trusted AI, it's not that difficult. I just need to kind of use the right tools for it, which I am still wondering if I should do or not. If they will find me, or if they even are interested now of what I have to say. I do feel that we have somewhat the same core wound that I kind of resonate with, because the last few days it has been intense, and I just did realize that the Americans haven't really come to terms how messy everything is. They're still kind of flexing their muscles. They're still like trying to get everybody to see them as something that, if you start to kind of scratch the surface, isn't true. They are deeply in debt. they have like they aren't happy at all, and they still want everybody to see them as this great big thing to trust on, and that is kind of failing quite a lot. They still cling to it though. They still want us to. It's like a false narrative that they want to kind of put out there. They do so very loudly, as always. Um, and then when the AI kind of pointed out that no, the Russians know that they have fallen, they still dream of the old Russia where everything. This I researched quite a long ago. Everything used to go through Russia. And that is what they are meaning with can we go back to that period of time when Russia was so important to everybody? Every decision, every like things that were going from Europe to Asia it went through Russia. Like it was so important back then. And I never knew that. And that is the greatness that they kind of miss, that they are sad about when the world didn't ignore them. And Putin feels like he now have the situation, the issue that is going to help him get out in the spotlight again, take back, like show everybody how competent he is, the strategist, that you know, um, and he showed off his military again towards the Swedes, two planes, I guess. Um, During midsummer, he flew them near our border. Now he didn't cross them, but near our border. And they obviously said, the Swedes obviously said, yeah, no, he can. It's not forbidden for him to fly that close to Sweden. I would have preferred flowers, but that's not his thing. That's not what he does. He shows off his planes. Why? Because we gave Ukraine two planes of high intelligence. That's funny. I mean, he does have a sense of humor, even if he does it in like, yeah, I'm going to scare the living crap out of you. And when it comes to Sweden and how we are supposed to handle this, it's my God, we have a strength that we aren't. Oh my God, what is the word? We are not using it. We are leaving something behind, and it's happening energetically, and it is to be neutral. It's in our past, and we have to accept that. It's no point in going back to it because we can't. And frankly, we have never been neutral, in my opinion. That's just this big lie that the government has told the Swedes for so long when they are trying to hide that we don't have military, we don't have an army. After every war, the Swedes sell their tanks. We kind of throw our like military equipment away. We do not educate more militaries. We don't educate the Swedish population in how to actually manage war. We don't have a government that know what war actually is because we haven't been in one we have managed to shimmy our way out of being in a war in 200 years, and not because we are extremely skilled at it. It is because that we know that we don't have an army, we don't have a military, we can't defend ourselves. We will break crack like in 5 seconds. Maybe we can stand up to Putin for some time, but eventually we would not know what to do. And that's just the truth. So what I would like feel more safe with is if the government actually, yeah, cut the crap. We need to be honest here. We need to have the Swedes with us on this, and we need to figure out a really good way of handling all of this, because right now nothing is working. Sweden's contribution to NATO is not like giving what NATO needs, because we don't know ourselves. Um, Even if our defense minister thinks he's doing the right thing, he doesn't use what Sweden is good at and like hand it over to NATO. And NATO needs to see what every European country actually is good at and kind of extract the competence from it. And they don't do that. They want everybody to be the same. And that is not going to happen. You can put like an Italian person and a Swedish person next to each other, and we will see how different they are. We will see who's the Swede. We will see who's the Italian person. Uh, and also like mannerism and the way of speaking and like morality and all of that. It's like we are so different. Don't try to make all the countries be the same or have the same or contribute in the same way. That is never going to work. That is why NATO doesn't work. And they need to realize that. When, in this case, with the war that is going on down there in the Middle East, Swedes need to. This is also like a narrative that is long gone, and we need to realize that we actually do have the competence of creating peace in that area. It's like we have, that doesn't mean that it's all Swedes. It can be like the Swedes know who to pick in each country. It doesn't have to be the European countries either, but the Swedes know that if we take that person, that person, that person, and we send them probably forever and always down to the Middle East where all this conflict is happening, they could actually create some sort of peace in that area. The thing is that we have always told everybody that we are neutral, and that is kind of coming back and biting us in the ass right now. Because if war happens, people are going to want to flee their country. And where are they going? They are going to Europe. And what are we going to say? No, you can't come in here, but we are not going to help you over there either when we can. I wouldn't have said anything if I didn't feel like Sweden can't do anything. We are not clever enough. We are not intelligent enough. We don't have the resources. That kind of thing. I have a feeling that that is just not true. There is something that tells me that Sweden absolutely know which people to pick, what strategy to choose to actually help in this situation. We are just not doing it. And I think that is what the universe is trying to tell Sweden right now. That we are so intelligent and we are going to become more intelligent with this energy that is happening. And we need to actually go into politics, because the crap that we have told ourselves for such a long time is not working for Sweden any longer. And I think that if we don't choose the approach that we are extremely good at, people are going to, other countries are going to see us as like falling from grace, if you know what I mean. Like today we have the authority. Today we are like up here, which everybody is kind of on our asses for, Big Brother clapping everybody on the head. And that is our Virgo rising thing, like Little Miss Perfect thing. telling everybody what to do. But we need to rise. We need to, it's like, let's say I actually knew all of this, which obviously everybody who is watching my videos at this time know that, she's probably extremely knowledgeable at this point. I don't know everything, and I'm stumbling upon stuff. I don't know people or what they are capable of, but I'm curious and I want to know how to deal with this, how to create peace. How, let's say that I didn't do this video. Let's say I didn't speak at all. Let's say that, oh well, okay, well, the Middle East can go and kill each other then. Would, and people, let's say that I actually, I don't know, and after a few years, people kind of knew about this. I was quiet the whole time, and people kind of knew about this after a few years, and they would kind of look at me and say, you could have said something, you could have done something. It doesn't mean that I will go down to the Middle East with a gun and shoot people like left and right with whomever I'm supposed to be in cahoots with, like either one, because I don't know, I have absolutely no idea who started what, and because they have been like on each other's throat for eternity almost. You don't see me do that. But if you knew that I know and that my knowledge actually could create clarity and like a push forward, or at least trying, because that is, I think, is what the universe is trying to kind of point out to me. At least you tried. You are on a platform that is free, that can reach so many people if they actually want to listen. It They can understand if they want to. You tried. If nothing happens, if no one takes what you're saying seriously, it's not my fault. Do you get what I'm saying? That is the same energy as Sweden is in for. Like, you need to speak, and that is why I'm like telling Carl Bildt, you need to do something, because energetically this is coming back around eventually on the Swedish people, on Sweden, and people are going to look at us and like, what did you have that knowledge, or you could actually have created peace down in the Middle East instead of having like a full-blown war down there, and then all those people are coming up to Europe wanting us to pay for housing, clothes, food, and we have to say no, because like there's just stuckness in that energy. No one is getting anywhere with that, except the military and dropping bombs on everybody, which no one wants. Everybody wants peace. Putin doesn't think peace is a thing in the Middle East right now. He might want it, but he wants to be the one creating it, be everybody's person they can look up to, and getting friends in the meantime, while he doesn't take care of his own people, while he restricts them, controls them, while he kind of pats them on the head and being extremely condescending, like a parent towards them. Um, and Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much how I feel about things right now. I hope Sweden does something. I hope they do it in the way that resonates with us. That's the Swedes. That's like, people can still look up to us. People can still see us as, they might not bring the guns, but they bring something that we do not have. They are excellent strategists. um, and know how to kind of shimmy the way out of stuff, um, in a good way too, something that lasts, not something that's just, because you can't just um, sign a paper and say, okay, peace, and then no one is healing. You know that thing? If you have like siblings, or if you have, okay, the parent comes and they say, okay, stop fighting, and the siblings stop fighting. But then later that night, one of them kind of kicks the other because, they had the chance, and the fight is like full force again. You kind of have to heal that part, and that is also a really big job. And no one knows how to do it when you have had grudges and you remember the past, um, and this everybody just have wounds and stuff. It's like Europe doesn't forget that Germany actually tried to kill us not many years ago. So why does Germany have to tell Putin, like, why are you trying to kill us, when they did this exact same thing not long ago? And I think that is, I don't know, it's interesting. And all these wounds are coming up to the surface, and we are supposed to do something about it. Sweden is changing. Sweden can't go back to what it used to be. I hope that those in charge actually kind of embrace that energy and try to. It's going to be resistance. It's going to be yeah, people are not going to be pleased if we have been told for centuries, or decades, I don't know which one it is, that, or both, that we are neutral, when the reality is that no, we would have been killed, all of us, like in 5 seconds, because we don't have an army, we don't have a military. We, like, all the tanks and all, like, you need to have people. We don't have people at all working with this. So just be honest, be bold, be speak with conviction, and to be clear. That is something Virgo rising needs to work on, and I have worked quite a lot with that, because the unhealed part of a Virgo rising is that we criticize. We do it with love. I want to criticize you because I want you to be better. So I need you to know this. A healed Virgo rising speaks with clarity. This is the truth, without criticizing anybody. And I am working on it, as you can hear, and I hope Sweden is going to be better with that too. Um, and take back what we're good at. Take back, like, this is Sweden, and we are kicking ass, but in our own way. We pick the best people that create peace in the Middle East, so we do not have to accommodate anybody unless they are here for some kind of a work with our universities, or they are here for some kind of exchange, or they just want to visit our country, or they just want to, like, the fun stuff. When people travel to a country when they want to, not because they need to, or need charity, or us to be their savior in some way. I want peace in their country for them, so they can like be great there, and I can go visit them. Um, that is what I want, and I hope Sweden kind of get to that point too.